We will use the slope-intercept form to find an equation of a line that goes through a point and has a slope. The advantage of this method, the visual method, is that we're just going to use our same old y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. You do not need to learn another formula. So the difference here is we're not told what the y-intercept is. We're given a point and we're given a slope. So when you do this, start with your point. Graph it. X coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 6. There's our point. Now normally we'd start our pattern, our slope pattern, from a point on the y-axis. But in this case, we don't know where it crosses the y-axis. We just know this point. So we're just going to use this point as the starting point for our line. And then we're going to use our slope, our m number, is 2/3. So we know that our rise is 2 and our run is 3. So that means that the pattern is up, 2, right, 3. So from this point now, instead of the point on the y-axis, we're just going to go from here. Up 2, right 3, dot. Up 2, right 3, dot. Do that same pattern backwards. Down 2, left 3, dot. Down 2, left 3, dot. There's our line. Now, we still want the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Well, we know part of this information. We know the m number, right? They told us the slope is 2/3. The thing that we need is the b number. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this. One way is to just look at it visually and guess. Where does it look like the line crosses the y-axis? Right about there. 4.5-ish, depending on how well I drew my line. So we're going to guess 4.5-ish. Y equals 2/3 x plus about 4.5. My y-intercept being where I cross the y-axis. You can find this exactly if you want to, and I'll show you how. You just have to figure out that b number. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our point, and we know that that point will make this equation true. That means if I sub in an x value of 2 and a y value of 6, I will get a true equation. I can use that fact to figure out what my b number is algebraically. I'm going to sub in x is 2, y is 6. I'm not going to leave that 2, 6 in my equation. I'm going to take it back out so that I have y equals mx plus b. But just for now, this will help me to be able to find out what b is exactly. 2/3 times 2, make it into a fraction, multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, you get 4/3. And then solve for b. Minus 4/3 from both sides. So b is equal to 6 minus 4/3. Well, you could use your calculator to help you out with that. I'm going to do the fraction math here. Let's see, 6, that's the same as 18/3. I get a common denominator of thirds. So 18/3 minus 4/3 is 14/3, or 4 1/3. 4 2/3. So my b number is 4 2/3. So now go back to your equation. Again, remember, we want y equals mx plus b. Y equals, my m number is 2/3, x plus 4 2/3. That's the exact answer. Slope is 2/3. Y-intercept is 4 2/3. Don't let this stuff scare ya. If that's too much, just stop right here. This is good enough for what we're gonna do. You've shown me that you understand that the 4.5, that's where this crosses the y-axis. Find the equation of the line that connects these 2 points. Point 1, point 2. Well, let's think about what our finished product is going to look like. We want something that looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. So what do we need? We need the m number, the slope, and the b number, the y-intercept. We have not been told any of these things. So let's see if we can draw our picture and figure out what the slope and the y-intercept are. Start by graphing your points, plotting your points. X is 3, y is 4. There's point 1. X is -6, y is -2. There's point 2. Connect your points with a line. You may want to use a straight edge. You'll get a straighter line than I have. Let's see if we can figure out what our m number and b number are just by looking at the graph. The m number is the slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. So between your 2 points, draw a vertical line for the rise and a horizontal line for the run. Now count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares for the rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares for the run. So my m number is the rise divided by the run. In our case, the rise is 6, the run is 9. Check your negativeness. Is this line going uphill or downhill from left to right? So from left to right, we're going uphill. Therefore, the slope is positive. 6/9 reduces to 2/3. So my m number is positive 2/3, so I can fill that in. Y equals positive 2/3 x. Now we need the b number. A good way, I think, to find the b number is just to look. The b number tells us where the graph crosses the y-axis, the y-intercept. Looks to me right about 2. So I put 2 in there. There's my answer. Y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Now, if you're concerned about this 2, sometimes, like in our previous example, it's in between. You can't tell for sure where it is. You can always use this little algebra trick to find the 2 exactly. If this is too confusing, just stay with this answer. Again, we know y equals 2/3 x plus 2. No, plus b. We don't know the 2 for sure yet. Take one of your points. We know that that point, when subbed into this equation, will make a true equation. So do it. Now, just for a minute, we're going to put the x coordinate of 3 in for x, and the y coordinate of 4 in for y. And now we should be able to find b exactly. 2/3 times 3 is 6/3, or 2. So our b number is 2. That confirms what we already kind of guessed visually, that our equation is y equals 2/3 x plus the b number of 2.